We have Independent Senator Angus King. He's on the Senate Intelligence and Armed Services Committee. Senator, always good to see you. What do you make of this? Why is the president going out of his way to undermine the White House's own message?
Well, I don't think he's going out of his way to purposefully undermine it. I think he's just being himself and communicating. The danger is that he's making policy almost inadvertently. I had been governor 20 years ago, about a month, when a friend said, you got to be careful when you're having lunch or walking down the hall. You're going to inadvertently make policy. And so when you're in a position like that, and the presidency's 100 times being a governor, you can't just say what's on your mind at that particular moment. And I think this is a significant problem. And for the administration then to say, well, don't mind what this man is saying over here. What Wizard of Oz is, don't pay attention to that man behind the curtain. That just doesn't pass the straight face test.
But for months, they have told us that we were wrong for saying that the travel ban is a ban. He then tweets again and again and again, in an odd context, in a moment of crisis for London where you would think a president would just be reaching out and be conciliatory, double down on the threat. And he says it is a ban. It's always been a ban. I want it to be a ban, and I want it to be the original ban, which is something that could have a little bit of bearing on the case before the Supreme Court.
Sure. Well, Kellyanne Conway's husband, as you noted a few minutes ago, has already pointed out that that's a compromise of the case, because what the courts have been looking at is, what is this really? Is this the president's exercise of his authority to limit immigration, or is it an intentional act to try to keep certain people out of the country for religious reasons? And his comments, his extracurricular comments, if you will, have already been used in the court proceedings and could well again. So you're right, and I think it goes to the issue of realizing the power of the presidency. You can make an offhand comment and the stock market will fall 500 points, or there will be a conflict that will arise. It's not you give up it seems to me, when you become president, you give up the right to be offhanded about your comments and just say whatever's on your mind at that moment. The consequences, the results are just too significant.
I mean, they absolutely matter. And the suggestion that they're just tweets, it's just absurd in the face of it. You see it again and again. Look at the Comey situation that you're going to be facing. Angus King is one of the senators who's going to get to ask questions of the former FBI director on Thursday. The president's tweets about Comey were fundamental in our understanding of what went on there with his firing, just as it was when he went on record with a journalist and talked about it. What do you want to ask from Comey on Thursday?
Well, Chris, one of the advantages of being more or less junior on the committee is that I get to listen to the other questions and Mr. Comey's answers before I have to formulate mine. I want to get to the bottom of what were the circumstances surrounding the firing, what were the circumstances surrounding these various meetings going back to right after the inauguration, and supposedly was he asked to be loyal, and was he asked to somehow put a damper on part of the investigation? Those are very, very important questions. I'm sure they're going to be asked. But I have some other questions, too, that, frankly, I'm going to wait till the hearing to share with Mr. Comey.
You don't want to give us a little bit of an advance? That's okay, Senator. That's your right. Let me ask you, do you have any particular curiosity about that paragraph that stuck out in everybody's minds that the president had drafted from the White House, where he thanked Comey, or at least recognized Comey, for telling him on 3 separate occasions, the president stated, that he was not part of the investigation? Do you want to know if that ever happened?
Absolutely. And that paragraph you refer to was in the letter where he fired Comey. And by the way, the last line of that letter is, good luck with your future endeavors, or something like that. It was sort of strange. But yes, absolutely. Did you reassure the president? Were there those conversations? Did he ask directly? And this is a very, very important part of this investigation. We were concerned that perhaps Director Comey's testimony would be not suppressed, isn't the right word, but pushed to the side somewhat by the Mueller investigation. But we received word yesterday that Director Mueller is not going to constrain Mr. Comey from speaking to us fully, and I think that's good news. We should get a full accounting from Jim Comey on Thursday.
That's an important development. So as far as you know, the former director is not curtailed in any way by the special counsel in what he can talk to you. So do you expect Comey to refuse to discuss any topic?
Well, I do expect that he won't discuss the Russian investigation itself. In other words, the investigation that Mueller is now in charge of. I don't expect him to give us an update or anything from what it was like or what he knew when he left. I'll be surprised if he does that. But as far as from the inauguration on and his interactions with the president, that appears to be absolutely fair game, and it's very important material for us to have.
Senator, we anticipate your questions. It's going to be a big day. We'll be doing it with special coverage. We're starting New Day an hour early, and we have special coverage starting at 9. The testimony is supposed to be at 10. Let me ask you one last question, maybe a difficult one for you. Who do you believe has the nicer tie on this morning, you or me?
Well, I think the deal is, Chris, that we're both promoting Maine lobsters this morning, so that's got to be good news.
Full disclosure, this is from the senator. This tie, you'll see there is a little lobster trap on the bottom of it.
Wow.
I had commented I liked the senator tie, and in Italian fashion, he sent me it.
That is fantastic. Now, did you coordinate your outfits this morning before you came on the air?
No, I knew the senator was coming on. I wore this to ingratiate myself to him and hope for better access.
Is it working, Senator?
I just want you to know that my lobster tie, each lobster has a little American flag. So this is not only promoting lobsters, but it's a patriotic tie.
That's an American lobster. I do not have flags on mine, which is now making me feel inadequate.
Senator, I like your shirt. Perhaps you'll send me something.
Oh, the shirts are from LL
nice
Bean.
in
Check LL Bean there, Allison. They'll take care of it.
That's a Maine company. Self-serving.
Wow.
Oh, it is? I did not realize that.
Senator, thank you very much. Great to see you.
Thank you. Good to be with you.